Hello, everyone. I'm Ian Nicholas, joined by Austin Platt and DAF Media's Damian Andrew live from Dunning Field here. Sorry, we were a little bit late again on this broadcast. We missed exactly one play. It was a potentially big one. Junior wide receiver Matthew Minikis dropped the ball for Darien. Darien on offense here, 2nd and 5. Quick slant over the middle could become a big play for the Blue Wave.
And that's Amir Preston, Ian, with a nice catch. And Preston, talented receiver, and you'll see him a lot during the 7-on-7 season.
So that's the first down of this 7-on-7 season, as Damian alluded to. This is not your traditional fall football. Darien over the middle. Preston again makes the catch inside the 30 near the 26. Back-to-back first downs through the air.
Certainly going to be a fast-paced, fun kind of atmosphere here at Dunning Field, something that we haven't seen ever, as we're not playing sanctioned 11-on-11 football this season in the fall in Connecticut since the late 1800s.
That's insane. Here's Miles Drake, the quarterback, wide open, and a Darien touchdown. Took him just a few plays, and Matthew Minikis, the junior, scores from 28 yards out. Only took him 3.5 minutes. What a throw.
That is a big name in Darien. He is the youngest of 4 brothers.
Yes.
And some say maybe the most athletic if his brothers are listening out there. But all played football, talented family.
So Darien's going to go for 2. Lofting it back at the end zone, and it finds nobody. Numerous Rams in coverage. So it's rolling clock here. 4 15-minute quarters from Dunning Field today, as Darien now up 6-0. And it's going to be, as I said, rolling clock, so no stoppage in play. So we've never seen this before, guys. 7-on-7 football is usually just a scrimmage thing. And to be honest, we don't even really know what's going on. The players don't, coaches don't, people in the press box don't. Drake looking to pass again. And a diving catch is made.
And it's Minikis again.
Yes. Well said, Damian. I guess that will go for 2. So Darien will go up 8-0.
If you like offense, this is the kind of format.
I'm waiting for someone to break 100.
For you.
Oh, yeah. Big 12. Going to make the Big 12 look like the best defensive league ever.
Oh, gosh.
Guys, while we have a moment, I just want to thank you. This game is not only being broadcast on NCTV, but simulcast on DAF Media Network.
Hayden Hall is going to attempt an extra point. I believe it's a miss. Well, this is a little crazy. So we had a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, which they had 2 shots to get, and then a missed PAT after a 2-point conversion. But, hey, that's the beauty of this really out-of-nowhere 7-on-7 league. And if you haven't followed the storyline of what's been happening in the state of Connecticut with high school football over this last month or so, the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference has been fighting to get the kids to play 11-on-11 football. The Department of Public Health has not been for full-contact football in the state of Connecticut, and in the end, no agreement could be made despite many peaceful protests and a lot of action on social media. This week, the CIAC did come out and say that they're going to try to pull off spring football in March, and they're going to move up the winter season. Who knows if that happens? But right now, this is the football that they're going to get, Austin, 7-on-7. We've heard a lot of rumors about private leagues, but right now, this crazy format, this is what we have.
Yeah, and obviously everyone's trying to work the best out of this situation. Obviously, football, one of the biggest sports, the biggest fall sport, especially for these 2 towns, given how great these 2 programs are. The rivalry between these 2. Obviously, New Canaan's won the last 3 Turkey Bowls. We see a kickoff here.
Yes.
So just to clarify.
Yeah, so now it's 7-0, not 8-0.
So the second time Minikis caught the ball, what we thought was a 2-point conversion, was actually the touchdown. So there's your 6 points on his first reception. inside the 10-yard line that we thought was the touchdown. He was actually touched shy of the end zone, okay? So it's a one-hand touch situation.
Yep.
So Minikis does score the touchdown. They kick the extra point. Now 7-0 Darien in this 7-on-7 game here at Dunning Field.
Here's a new quarterback for the New Canaan Rams. His name is Reed Brown. He replaces a guy you've probably heard of. His name, Drew Pine, currently playing for Notre Dame. A former state champion quarterback here with New Canaan, and Brown, a first-year starter, has probably the biggest shoes to fill in this program's history. He completes a quick pass for 5 yards over the middle to Christian Sweeney. Brown goes left, checks it down.
And you can tell that these guys are ready for a little contact, as that was a bear hug for the stop again.
Not the first hand touch.
Just one hand touch, and that was Ryan Blatney, the senior, playing defense here for Darien.
And New Canaan does not have numbers on the back of these jerseys, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Brown finds a man in tight coverage, and he makes the catch.
Brown has a nice release of that football.
He's a technician.
He does, yeah.
I believe that's Ryan Corbett who snags that one, first-year starter. Broke his ankle in the middle of last season, came back, and what a comeback story he is. At the bottom of your screen. 1st and 10 from the 37. Brown will not get it out on time. They have 4 seconds to throw the football, and that one perfectly covered by the Blue Wave.
Obviously, Reed Brown's not seen that much action, but when he has been in the game, he's a guy that Damian said he's precise. He's a guy who sets the high expectations for himself, goes short passes. He's definitely a smarter quarterback. Doesn't have as big of an arm, but he's certainly a guy who's want to complete passes, and there, obviously, smart decision to hold on to it, even though obviously it does count as theoretically a sack.
He's going to go left here, and he finds Maddox Underwood underneath. It's going to set up a 3rd and short.
Showing a strong arm there, Brown, throwing across the field, quick out. It's really great to be with you guys. It's been a crazy 7 months here, but it's nice to see these guys out here chucking the ball around the ball field.
And great to see all the athletes back. Yesterday, DAF Media covering field hockey. We covered soccer. Just great to be back in this high school environment. Brown, deep shot, wide open. Christian Sweeney inside the 20, and this will be a touchdown for New Canaan. Nobody close to him. The leading receiver from last year, a senior captain, and he scores with just over 6 minutes left in this quarter.
Well, there's that deep ball that we mentioned. Obviously, last year, he's not known for his arm, but last year that one play that sticks out is in that St. Joe's game where he threw that deep ball to Zach LaPolice. And there's the number 1 receiver right there, Christian Sweeney, varsity athlete in 3 sports, football, basketball, and lacrosse. Scored a touchdown against the Wave last year in the Turkey Bowl.
The first of the game.
That's right, and great play there, wide open.
What a great hookup there.
Yeah, busting coverage.
Sweeney, such a talented athlete, had a big game last year in the Turkey Bowl.
Yep.
And I'm just looking down on the sideline and seeing Coach Marinelli with his shorts on, and he's got kind of the Belichick look going on with the cut-off sleeves there.
Pretty similar careers.
Not really a hoodie. Certainly, if you compare pro to high school, similar careers. An outstanding coach, outstanding person. And on the other side of the field for Darien,
first-year coach
Rob Trefone is now gone, retired, stepped down at the end of last season. And Mike Forget, his longtime defensive coordinator, is the Blue Wave head coach, first year. And what a year to be the first-year head coach at Darien.
This is what we're throwing you into.
All this going on. I had a chance to talk to Coach Forget before the game, and another terrific guy. Whenever I see him, he looks like he could still play.
Oh, he's a big guy.
Big guy in great shape, and a real nice guy as well. But
yeah, and Austin, this is year number 40 for Coach Marinelli. And the same thing, if you told Mike Forget you're going to get another head coaching job, it's going to be 7-on-7. But if you told Coach Marinelli 40 years ago that 1 year you'd be coaching 7-on-7 high school football, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, given the fact what he has done, obviously these teams last couple of years have gotten off to really slow starts, but he's had the ability to change the season around. Obviously, this team's battled with injuries last year. You mentioned Ryan Corbett and some of their big names. David Siegel, Chris Kinnett were out. In the beginning of last year, suffered season-ending injuries. So obviously, they're looking to just get back out there, get the reps, and obviously looking for the private season, which you alluded to, which should be happening soon, and then obviously the spring season, which could be in the works.
So here's Drake. Second shot for him and crew on offense. Deep ball down the right sideline and just outside of the outreached hands of Cal McNear, one of the 4 senior captains of this Darien squad.
Yeah, I had the chance to talk to Cal the other day before one of the Blue Wave practices, and they're trying to be as positive as they can with
everything that's going on.
Everything that's going on.
Drake scanning, finally heaving it. 1v1 ball is intercepted by New Canaan. Big time play when they need it the most. Finally slowing down Darien.
The intended receiver was Oliver Bolton, and a big INT by the Rams.
And that's going to be Nolan Larkin, the first-year player here at New Canaan. He's got an interesting story, guys. A senior. He used to play at Berks Catholic in Pennsylvania, transferred here this year. He was an all-conference player in Pennsylvania. He runs a sub-4.5 40-yard dash in Austin. This is an explosive kind of player, Nolan Larkin, a running back and a defensive back who can make those highlight plays.
And that's what happens when you're here at New Canaan. You're getting it thrown in anywhere. We've seen plenty of guys play on both sides of the ball successfully, and they're really excited. Larkin is on the sideline with that great interception. Great job to make sure there's no PI on that play, and did a great job corralling it in.
Brown's going to let it fly over the middle of the field. And Christian Sweeney is going to draw the pass interference call. Tried to go up with it with one hand, but he was being grabbed and tugged by Teddy Laird, the senior, number 18, Teddy Laird. And that's just what Christian Sweeney does. That looks like the exact same route he ran in that turkey bowl, the seam route, and that's where you use him best, that size-speed combination.
Looks like just like in basketball, going up for a rebound, except instead of drawing the foul, draws the penalty, and New Canaan will have a first down in Darien territory on the 45.
Hayden Shin is checked into the game at running back for the Rams. Brown looks right, and he will hook up with, I believe, Ryan Corbett. Yes, that is him. The Canadian-American Ryan Corbett, his second catch on the game. Coming back from that ankle injury, as we mentioned earlier. Another first down.
You know, guys, there are some fans, spectators in attendance, 2 spectators per family, per varsity athlete. No student spectators.
No.
So there is a little bit of an atmosphere. Quick pass there over the middle, complete.
To Christian Sweeney again. He obviously the big-time player in this offense, the second leading receiver last year. On this team, 40 grabs, 431 yards, and 6 receiving scores. All good for second on this New Canaan team that went 9-3 and made it all the way to the state semifinals before falling to the powerhouse that is St. Joe's. 2nd and 4 here from the 24-yard line. Just under a minute left in quarter number 1. Brown looks left and finally checks it down. A lot of running room on this play. Hooking up with Corbett yet again, showing off the wheels.
Austin, you have to be impressed with Brown's poise thus far. I mean, he looks really comfortable in the pocket, obviously replacing a New Canaan legend.
Yes.
Who's at Notre Dame. We'll talk more about him, but
certainly it's not easy for someone to be comfortable. You've been behind one of the greats for 3 years, a lot of pressure on him, and then you're thrown into this situation. There's a quick completion there as New Canaan is knocking on the door to take the lead as we're going to end the first quarter. Running clock. That'll be the last play.
Yep, Christian Sweeney again on a quick hitch. Sets up 2nd and goal from a 3-yard line. And as Austin mentioned, that's the end of a quarter here from New Canaan High School. It's not necessarily the Turkey Bowl, but it is New Canaan and Darien playing some form of football. And that's really all you can ask for.
If you don't think the competitive juices are flowing between these two teams, then you're kidding yourself. Because Darien, New Canaan, we've said this before, Ian and Austin, on Turkey Bowl broadcasts through the years. I mean, they can play shuffleboard, and it will be competitive. And, Ian, you were a former football player, and I know you can speak on it firsthand that there's nothing like the red versus the blue.
in any sport here at the
in
high
any
school.
sport.
You know, even yesterday when Austin and I were calling a soccer game, not great soccer programs, but, you know, there is a very competitive back-and-forth game, and they're really just two teams that you could feel the intensity. And you can feel it here today. These guys are amped. Look, this is not what they asked for. This is not the 11-on-11 season. But anytime you see the Rams up against the Blue Wave, no matter what the record is, you're going to get something good.
For sure. And we were talking yesterday and trying to figure out which sport maybe wouldn't be as competitive. And, you know, 7-on-7 football, obviously, barely any touch, just one touch, no pads. We thought, maybe this won't be the greatest thing. But, hey, there is still a lot of competitiveness in the air.
Shin in motion. 2nd and goal from the 3. Brown looking, firing for Griffin Koch, and it's batted away by
Matthew
Cavoli, the senior DB, senior on senior action.
Sorry for stepping on you there, Ian.
No problem.
Cavoli, nice play there to bat that away. It's so difficult because some guys are wearing numbers and others aren't.
Well, I know Koch, one of the bigger receivers on New Canaan, and he's got the it might be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, little blacks. I don't know what to call that, but it helps. So 3rd and goal, trips right. Brown to the end zone, touchdown, New Canaan. And that is Christian Sweeney's 2nd on his many tries on touchdown grabs. New Canaan takes the 13-7 lead.
It's a great route there. The play before that looked like Reed was trying to go to the right and then went across the field for Koch, and they went the other way there. Koch came from the left, and Sweeney started on Brown's right. As you said, trips right and was right there. Nice little turn there from Sweeney. And there's your, QB, number 1 receiver duo. The last couple of years, obviously, New Canaan's lost big names, receiving end. Obviously, 2 years ago it was Quentin O'Connell, and last year, obviously, now is Zach LaPolice. And Christian Sweeney's, 7-on-7 is still evident that he's the number 1 guy, and 2 touchdowns to his name as Nick Radman, the star senior kicker, will put it through the uprights, and the extra point is good. 14-7 New Canaan, just beginning here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, Sweeney, an FCAC honorable mention player last year, is the Rams' number 2 receiver, behind Zach LaPolice, who just a few days ago committed to play college ball at Cornell. Congratulations, Zach.
Sorry, Ian. Another great. We talked about the Minicus name.
The
New Canaan, the LaPolice name carries a lot of weight in terms of high school athletics. Have some talented siblings, talented family members play for the Rams.
Yep, his brother Alex currently playing football at Harvard.
And was a terrific baseball player.
Yeah.
I think he went up there originally to play both sports.
Really? Yeah, but those two, LaPolice led the team in touchdowns last year. He had 13 of them. He was just, filling in big shoes, Brown for Pine. Last year it was O'Connell for LaPolice, and he definitely made some big plays. Kickoff here from New Canaan's all-state punter, Nick Radman. He also kicks for the Rams. There's no returns, obviously, on these kickoffs, but it does get the kickers and punters some way to stay involved. New Canaan did tack on the 2-point conversion, so it's a 15-7 game.
You bring up Radman. What a turkey bowl he had last year, right? I mean, very valuable player in that game.
Yeah, he was doubted by a few in the community, not a well-known name, a guy who never actually played football but decided to pursue kicking and got coaching for it, before his freshman year, and he's really come on big. Looking for the deep shot. They get it off in time, and a beauty throw down the left sideline to Oliver Bolton on the strike from Miles Drake. Gets him all the way across midfield to around the 45-yard line. Big play after big play in this offense first 7-on-7 so far, guys.
And you can tell that Darien and New Canaan still have different playing styles. Darien, definitely a vertical passing game. They're looking to score quickly. New Canaan's a team that'll have longer drives, more plays. Another completion there from Drake. Great
sideline grab to the 40-yard line. Gets the feet in before being shoved out of bounds by linebacker Braden Sweeney, the twin brother of Christian Sweeney and one of the best players on this Rams defense. Sets up 2nd and 3 from the 40. As Darien's going to roll with the trips right formation here from the left hash. Drake looks left, and it's overthrown and intercepted by Chris Connett. Interceptions are blown dead from where they are grabbed. And what a return for the senior captain, who missed the majority of last year with a torn labrum.
Boy, there's another good story there. That pass from Amir Preston was overthrown, and Connect was right there for the easiest interception of his career.
Yeah.
Last year, tore his collarbone, I believe.
It was officially a torn labrum. In their Week 2 game up against Richfield. That was a tough loss early in the year. Committed to play lacrosse at UPenn, and a terrific football player in his own right. He was that guy who in that Turkey Bowl in 2018, remember, TJ Kornacki had caught that big pass. People thought Darien had secured the win, and then Connect made the big tackle that held him to a field goal attempt. So the Rams take over here. Brown looking, finding a man over the middle, and back-to-back interceptions. Looking for Christian Sweeney, and the Blue Wave end up with it. Wish we could tell you who that was, but no jersey, as you can see on the close-up shot. But wow, Austin, what did you think of that one?
That was a really great interception there. Great job by whoever it was to
Congratulations.
Exactly. Last second to tip that ball up to himself. Pass was intended for Ryan Corbett. Brown went a little more of a less arc on that throw, which caused the interception and allowed that play to happen. Darien takes right back over.
New quarterback in the game for the Blue Wave. Here's the check down. And they get around a first down of a 30-yard line. That one caught by Cal McNear, his second big catch of the game, playing running back on that one. The new quarterback, actually couldn't tell you. I'm pretty sure that is Oliver Bolton. Damian, you're the Darien guy. Do you know who number 10 is, the new quarterback in the game for the Blue Wave?
So that's Connor Palin is getting some reps now for Darien.
Got it.
Connor Palin, number 10. There was a mix-up on the roster that we were given.
Yeah.
We had Amir Preston as number 10. That is, in fact, Connor Palin, 10 at quarterback for Darien, as he gets some reps in here.
He was the one that threw that interception just a couple moments ago, so certainly not surprised that Coach Forget wants to get him more reps.
Yeah, shake it off.
If we were in a traditional 11-on-11 season or going into the season a month ago, those two guys would have been battling it out for QB1.
Flag is thrown. Palin to the end zone. It's caught for the touchdown. But who's the flag on? It's Oliver Bolton with the grab. And the linemen have come back from the lineman challenges. But that one is not going to stand.
Looked like it might have been 4 seconds before he got that throw off. Took a lot of time, and I think maybe it was just a quick half a second too late.
So a 15-7 game. New Canaan's got the lead. Reed Brown, the new quarterback for the Rams, has thrown 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. As we are just around 7.5 minutes left in the first half of this 7-on-7 football game from Dunning Field. Ian Nicholas joined by Austin Platt and DAF Media's Damian Andrew.
I want to thank you guys for having me here this afternoon. This has been a lot of fun and interesting, all wrapped up into one.
Definitely.
Interesting before fun.
Yeah, I would say so, Austin. Well put.
Shot to the end zone, caught wide open, and Darien strikes back big. Just like that.
And that was Ryan Blatney. On the reception in the back of the end zone, diving catch by Blatney.
And just like that, extra point away from, I believe, if they attempt a long extra point, they get 2.
Yep.
Their kicker, Hayden Hall, is the senior. He kicked for them last year, number 49. Yep. Blatney, the holder. With 6:30 left in the second quarter. Kick is up, and kick is just good.
Wow, he just snuck it in there.
Yeah, there's a line drive for you.
Hey, a point to point. Doesn't have to be pretty. Or, excuse me, 2 points. Now it's 2. So we got a tie game.
We're having fun. I mean, we're getting to know these rules as we go along here. And again, in all seriousness, this 7-on-7 format, this kind of abbreviated schedule, was put together rather quickly within the last week. So I think everybody's trying to adjust to this as they move forward.
Yeah, a few teams up the state, I believe the Ledyard athletic director made a plan to put 7-on-7 in action after the official news came out once again that football would not be played in the state of Connecticut 11-on-11 this fall. And the FCAC adopted that, and leagues around the state adopted it. So this was really put together very quickly after that news came out. But it is giving the players across the state some form of competition and hopefully some hope that they can get a full season somewhere down the line. Here's the kickoff from Hall, fielded at the 16-yard line, as the Rams look to respond after a Reed Brown interception. This Rams receiving core, really a lot of new faces without Zach LaPolice, Luke Morton, Kyle Russell all graduating last year. You got Griffin Koch, Maddox Underwood, Ryan Corbett, and, of course, Christian Sweeney. But three of those guys, the guys not named Sweeney, not starters last year, Austin, but they're talented guys.
For sure. Obviously, a lot of these guys played a variety of different sports, certainly have the athletic abilities to play this sport, especially under Coach Marinelli, who will turn anyone into a star.
Yes. And offensive coordinator Dan Farina as well, who is in his second year full-time at the job. That pass into traffic, incomplete. Looking for Christian Sweeney over the middle.
And, of course, I'm looking down on the sideline. Chris Silvestri down there, the DC.
One of the greats.
One of the all-time greats, another great human being as well.
Definitely.
Math teacher, correct?
Health teacher.
Health teacher.
But he brings the passion, Damian. I had him freshman year. There's a drop out of the backfield from Christian Carson, the man who had that big-time Turkey Bowl with 94 yards and a touchdown and that 20-0 win over the Blue Wave. But Chris Silvestri, former FCAC assistant coach of the year, also the associate head coach, D-line coach as well this year, and former Gatorade player of the year back in the 1990s. He is just something else and loved in this community, as he should be. 3rd and 10 from the 26. They go empty backfield, even though there is no running. Brown looking. Deep shot is caught. Good adjustment from Christian Sweeney as he spins down, I guess you could say, at the 40-yard line on that 34-yard completion.
Sweeney may or may not have used an arm there to gain some separation, as some of the Darien linemen after their challenges are not too fond with that call. But, hey, it's a first down, and there is Sweeney and Brown.
He's been the star, Christian Sweeney, of the 7-on-7 so far. Brown hooks up over the middle with Maddox Underwood. He takes a shot at the end of that one. Holds on inside the 30 to the 27-yard line, pick up a 13, and another New Canaan first.
Now Maddox Underwood is number 14 on our roster.
Yep.
Number 1 on the field.
maybe the 7-on-7 jerseys from Grip It and Rip It. We don't know where these jerseys are coming from. But Christian Carson in the backfield here to the right of Brown. Trips left, 1st and 10. Over the middle, another great catch from Sweeney on the quick hitch, which has really been his go-to route with Brown right now.
Brown's a guy that certainly likes to release the ball very quickly. You see on a couple of plays where he had to hold onto the ball for a while, he's not as comfortable. The Rams like to work very quick passes, especially with no line. It's that much easier. You don't have to worry about a hand deflecting the ball.
Brown looking over the middle, and he overthrows Griffin Koch, who he had wide open. First-year starter this year for New Canaan. 9 of 11 starters on his Rams team would have been seniors if you include the line. But only one returning skill player, and that's Sweeney. So a lot of new faces, even though you have a lot of seniors. So experience, but not necessarily at the varsity level.
Yep.
So 3rd and 4, a big one here. Need to work it up to the 17. Brown over the middle in a great catch. Holding on to make it is
Carson, I believe.
Christian Carson, you are correct, Austin. Thank you. Out of a backfield. They usually use Hayden Shin as their receiving back, but Carson, who had a drop earlier on the drive, makes the big play.
Nice little end to his junior campaign last year. Carson, the Rams certainly loved Johnny Wise last year out of the running back position, but used Carson down the stretch.
Brown looking end zone. He threw it high for Christian Sweeney. He couldn't come down with it.
He rifled that to Sweeney, and I tell you what, he had to rifle it because there was good coverage there, but maybe 2 inches lower, he makes that catch.
And Sweeney ended the year on a touchdown streak, so that's the guy you want to look for when you're in the red zone. 2nd and 10. Brown looking. End zone wide open. Touchdown, New Canaan. Maddox Underwood scores from 13 yards out, and New Canaan retakes the lead.
Maddox Underwood having himself a game, Austin Platt.
Yeah, certainly. Brown and Maddox obviously been good buddies throughout the course of their lives. And certainly there's that connection. We saw Maddox actually take a couple reps in that first game against New London last year. I remember that as the team dealt with injuries, and the two of them have known each other for a while as they go for the corner of the end zone, quick out route.
Extra point is good from Radman. It is a 1-point extra point, not a 2.1. Or no, excuse me, it is a 2.1. I'm just not good with numbers. Never have. Never have been, never will be. 23-18 is the score.
You're good with words, though.
Thank you,
Ian,
Damian.
that's for sure.
I got something going.
I want to thank you guys again. This game broadcast being simulcast on DAF Media. So we are thrilled to be able to bring this to our viewers. And it is a NCTV production. And, of course, the head of NCTV, Mr. Roman Cebulski.
Yes.
Mr. C. Doesn't get nearly enough credit. There we are. You guys are much better dressed than I am. I didn't get the memo for the button-down shirt. And,
I'll take the blame on that.
Austin's got the tie on as well, but it's
casual game, casual dress in the booth.
Absolutely,
it works.
Absolutely. It is really beautiful here today.
Yeah,
it is
beautiful
a great
day.
It did not start out that way weather-wise. It was a little dreary earlier.
Yeah, we were fearing rain.
Yep. But the sun is out, as you can see, and guys, I know you have a production crew you probably want to give some shout-outs to.
Of course.
You guys do such a nice job here at NCTV.
Well, we got Chris Silvestri. He works on our NCTV crew. I'm joking. They're the New Canaan defensive coordinator.
Just
walking down from the box. But we really do want to thank the crew because we've had a lot of adjustments with people behind the scenes, and this is only our second live game, so we want to thank our producer tonight, Emily Fox, Ben Bowe, and Amelie Lanoff on camera, all of them doing a fantastic job so far. And, of course, as you mentioned, Damian, our advisor, Mr. Cebulski, where would we be without him? We don't know. We wouldn't be streaming this game, 7-on-7 football, between New Canaan and Darien. But quickly, before we head it to half, because it is halftime now, New Canaan leads 23-18. Who are your players of the half? And I'll start with Austin.
Well, I mean, you're going to ask me this question. Give me the slam dunk here.
It's
going to be Christian Sweeney, of course, the number one receiver here for New Canaan. Already has 2 touchdowns and has plenty more receptions. Really just the guy you want. Tries varsity athlete. Such a big guy. It looks like a little bit of a tight end, actually. He's that much bigger and taller than everyone else. He'll go up for every ball, and you can tell that he and Brown have that really nice connection.
And Damian, someone from Darien?
I don't think you can single out one person. Both quarterbacks, I thought, looked really good. Miles Drake and Connor Palin getting some reps in. Ryan Blatney playing both sides of the football. He looked good. And, of course, the youngest Minikis doing a nice job, had a touchdown catch. So more of a group of players of the first half for Darien.
Blue Wave. First game at head coach for Mike Forget. 40th season at head coach for New Canaan's Lou Marinelli. First varsity start for Reed Brown. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. We're going to see much more of all those faces and names in the second half, where we will bring you more of a 7-on-7 matchup between New Canaan and the Darien Blue Wave. Your score is 23-15. Rolling clock and rolling halftime. As we are just going to try to fly through this one, it seems. Kickoff from Hall lands at roughly the 15-yard line. I'll give my player to half. I said it was Reed Brown. First career varsity start. He threw 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions over the last 2 seasons as one of the backups to Pine. Drew Pine, that is. And so far today, 3 touchdowns. And outside of that pick, he has looked crisp and fast with that football. But as you mentioned, all the receivers making an impact. Underwood with a touchdown. Christian Sweeney, your player of the half, Austin. Numerous big plays. Ryan Corbett as well. with a couple of nice snags. Inexperience, but it's not showing right now.
Guys are going to get reps. Hey, 7-on-7, we're going to be a lot of points, and give them that winning mentality.
Quick strike again to Christian Sweeney. You can't really stop that in a 7-on-7 format with no pass rush, just a quick throw. What are you going to do about it?
You probably can't even stop that in 11-on-11 either.
No.
It's just so quick. Gives the defense no chance.
So with the kickoff, I forgot to mention it earlier, so it was kicked off at the 16-yard line, but then because there's no return, they moved the ball up 10 yards. So that's why they started at the 26. Here's 2nd and 6. Brown over the middle, and excellent defense from Darien's Alec Medwar, the junior, who is all over Sweeney.
Again, it's hard when you see a play like that. It's so hard for these guys. They're so accustomed to making big hits, wrapping players up. It's hard for them to realize that it's just a one-hand touch. It's like backyard football that we all grew up playing.
Exactly. So 3rd and 6. Brown, right sideline. Excellent catch as he's out of bounds. Christian Sweeney takes the big hit from Medwar and holds on for a pickup of 16 and another New Canaan first.
And another fantastic pass there from Brown. The play before that was getting a little too predictable. The passes to Sweeney, the quick hitches, but there, nice little out route to the sideline, and another great throw.
Excuse me, I'm pretty sure I think Ryan Corbett. I don't know. Corbett and Sweeney look much alike without the numbers. Brown over the middle, finds Koch, but he takes the big hit. Matthew Cavoli forces that one out. Koch, I believe, still without a catch, or maybe he has one, but trying to make the play there, goes incomplete.
Well, there's a flag down.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, a little bit of a late hit. So we'll see where the damage is done here. And it is going to be on Darien. And probably yards. On Cavoli. 15, unnecessary roughness. In 7-on-7. That's going to be your threshold for unnecessary roughness in this format of football. It will move them up past midfield to Darien's 44. New Canaan leading by 8. Looking to add more to the lead with just under 12 minutes left, led by Reed Brown and crew. Brown over the middle of the field looking for Koch, and it sails over the head of both Koch and Cavoli out of bounds.
Cavoli, sorry about that, tripped up there. Nothing intentional, but I think he just lost his footing.
Looked like miscommunication as well. Brown was going to the corner of the end zone. Koch was looking to go to the middle of the field.
That's a great point, Austin.
And the Rams have a new receiver coach this year, and the receivers are the only stars, really, in this format of football. Eric Stevens, first-year New Canaan coach, came over from Trinity Catholic. That's a school who unfortunately folded this year, but a guy who the wide receivers love. He brings a lot of energy in practice, and he's done a great job with these guys so far. 2nd and 10. Brown looks and incomplete in the direction of Ryan Corbett. Well defended by number 8 for Darien.
Looking down on the New Canaan sideline again, I see an old friend, A.J. Albano.
Yes.
Of course, was the DC at Darien years ago, and then the head coach at his alma mater, Brian McMahon, for a while.
Yeah, 7 seasons for him there.
Yeah, had some early success there at McMahon. And when you look up the word energy in the dictionary,
he brings it.
You see him.
Brown looking for it all down the field and just missing a galloping wide receiver for New Canaan. Not sure who that is. Let's see. Here's a close-up. And might be Harry Apelt playing some offense. But the deep shot to Apelt or whoever it was for New Canaan goes incomplete. But Brown really put it all out there.
Talk about Albano, guys so respected in this NC football community. Coach Marinelli has so much respect for him.
And he loves him.
Absolutely adores him.
3rd-year coach here now at New Canaan is A.J. Albano. He coaches the secondary. 4th and 10. Brown looks, lofts, and almost catching it on the readjustment is Maddox Underwood. Brown had nowhere to go with that football, and Underwood still almost came up with it.
You know, Coach Trefone steps down at the end of last season. You mentioned the coaching staff here at New Canaan, but a lot of the same names and faces over on that Darien sideline.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just kind of plugged in the pieces and kept it moving. Again, certainly has not been easy. It hasn't been easy for any high school football program. And then you throw in that one of the winningest coaches in the state, most successful coaches in the state, leaves the program, right before all this happens with the pandemic, and so. But they've done a nice job keeping these kids positive and upbeat.
Miles Drake back in the game at quarterback, and he makes his presence felt on the deep shot to Oliver Bolton, falling down near the 20-yard line on a connection that will go for over 30 yards. 36 to be specific.
That's the best pass I've seen from Drake all day. Perfectly placed. Looked like Bolton might have slipped up there, but it certainly could have been 6. And a big gain for Darien.
Darien's offensive coordinator, the former New Canaan offensive coordinator, Dante Correnti. So there's a bit of a rivalry in this game, jam-packed of competition. To the end zone is Drake, and almost making the catch in tight coverage was Matthew Minikis, the one and only, looking for his second touchdown of this afternoon. Again, a good ball, really in double coverage. You put that anywhere else, Austin, that might be a pick.
For sure, and obviously just over the head of Minikis, who nearly came down with it. Looked like Drake was close to that 4-second timer as he got the ball off a little bit late, a little off balance there, but still a pretty good throw considering the circumstance.
Darien in the red zone, 2nd and 10 from the 19. Drake looks right, wide open, and making the catch. He bobbled it, but that doesn't matter there. Touchdown, Darien.
Great play, corner of the end zone.
And Drake to, I believe, is that Blatney? I believe Ryan Blatney, the senior, came up with that one. Wide open, as you mentioned, on that corner out of sorts. A busting coverage from New Canaan. And with this Hayden Hall extra point, he squeaked in the last one. Darien can tie this game up at 23 with just under 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Lucky that you only need 1 foot in bounds there because another line drive extra point. That one sails wide left.
Yeah. It's an interesting kicking motion. I mean, the ball really has no pattern. It just kind of flies around there. Hall got the last one to go, but misses there for the senior. So New Canaan keeps its 2-point lead, 23-21. You know, Dan Farina is the second-year offensive coordinator, Austin. He's on top of the press box right now, a great energy guy, and a guy who has a great connection with Reed Brown, the quarterback. He's been working more with the quarterbacks recently, Farina, that is. What have you seen in this offense so far that might be translatable if the Rams ever get to 11-on-11 football? What have you liked in this passing attack?
Well, I like how they haven't really changed anything. Even though they have a new quarterback, obviously trying to replace Pine, nothing's really changed. They don't really go for a deep ball. They go for the safe passes. This team is, last year and the beginning of the year, they struggled a little bit. Pine did, with some deep balls, some interceptions. But, hey, they go a lot of plays across the middle. You can see Christian Sweeney there is the main guy. And Farina's a guy who was also loved by Marinelli last year when we interviewed him for one of those games. He said, quote, obviously, if I leave, he's going to be the guy. And that could be rather soon. Obviously, 40 years for Coach Marinelli. Unbelievable to think about that. This is the way it could end for him, honestly.
Now, we'll see, Austin. The SEAC came out earlier this week, as I mentioned earlier, and said, we're going to give a time frame potentially to play spring football and any other sport in the fall that doesn't play 40% of its games. Hopefully we don't get to that point and all the fall teams do get to play out their full seasons. But, hopefully Coach Marinelli in this crew, you mentioned Silvestri, Farina, Coach Stevens, Coach Albano, a lot of phenomenal names on his coaching staff assembled, can get that 11-on-11 season. Man in motion, it's Underwood. As Rams go trips right, they'll start from the 31. Brown scanning, hooking up, and making the catch near the 39-yard line for New Canaan. Believe that is Chris Connett getting some reps in on the offensive side of the ball.
2018 FCIAC All-West nominee was Connett. Obviously got injured last year, but can play on both sides of the ball. And going back to Freena, we've already seen a couple of the guys put the headset on and obviously getting a word from Freena upstairs. And you can see there's a lot of good things going on and certainly some things that he's liked.
Excuse me, that was actually running back / wide receiver Hayden Shin. He's going to be a hybrid player for the Rams this year. Christian Sweeney again with that quick hitch. Darien just can't stop it. He's hooked up on that route numerous times. Picks up 4 to the 45-yard line and a New Canaan first down. And Hayden Shin, a guy who also came on a little bit late last year with Johnny Wise banged up, both him and Christian Carson, who's now in the game at running back. And they're going to use Shin at both running back and wide receiver this year. He is that talented. They want to get ways to get him involved. Brown over the middle. Koch makes a good catch. Brought to the ground by Cavoli, and he holds on.
I believe that's Koch's first or second reception on the day. And just that slant across the middle, not much you can do if you're Darien. Brown's looking really sharp and really comfortable out there. It's good to see for the senior.
Just over 3 minutes left in quarter number 3. New Canaan 2-point lead. Brown can't find anything. And finally, Koch breaks free. Big room to rumble. Stutter stepping his way out of bounds near the red zone at the 20-yard line.
I guess you'd say Matthew Cavoli brought him down. He two-hand touched him.
Well, there was, Koch was double covered, it looked like, Austin, and he finally broke free at the last second. Brown was able to direct traffic and get him open.
Looked like some of the Darien players might have thought that was 4 seconds and maybe gave up on that as Koch was wide open, moved back to the outside towards Darien's sideline and gets the first down.
So the big catch and run of the 19. Brown, end zone, overthrown. I believe looking for Underwood.
Just let him a little bit too much there.
Yeah.
Looked like that might be Carson.
Yeah, you're right, coming out of the backfield. I just didn't expect, the Rams don't use Carson too much out of the backfield. Doesn't have the smoothest hands, but they want to get him involved there, and he's been targeted a lot.
Hey, you can't run the ball really on 7 on 7, so you got to use everyone somehow, and Carson, both of these guys are really starting to use out of the backfield.
2nd and 10. Brown intercepted. Coming out of nowhere, jumping that one. And what a big play for Darien.
Charlie Silsby, the senior there. Brown looked right, and everyone knew in this place that he was going right. Silsby did a great job getting up there with that nice INT. That's a good drive for New Canaan ends.
Yeah, Brown might have telegraphed that one a little bit. But this stout Darien defense, those are the plays that head coach Mike Forget, the former defensive coordinator, loves to see. Forget, this is not his first head coaching gig in the FCAC. He was the former Fairfield Ludlow head coach back in the early 2000s. As Damian mentioned earlier, he's been the longtime defensive coordinator here and some of the best defenses in the state. And he loves to see those plays. We're just about 53 seconds left in quarter number 3. In this fast-moving game, clock just keeps rolling. Drake still in at quarterback. He's looking for the deep shot down the right sideline, and he is going to get it. A little bit underthrown, but it doesn't matter. It's Ryan Blatney who makes the epic grab as he burned that double coverage.
There was some wicked speed there, trying to look at the quarterback there. You could just tell out of the corner of your eye that Blatney was wide open. Good job getting it there. So I thought maybe for a second the wind would hold that up, but a big gain and one play, and they're already in New Canaan territory.
Looks like they're going to get one last play in the third quarter. Drake finding his man, making an adjustment, and working across midfield now to the 35. And that will be the last play of the third quarter. When you get New Canaan and Darien in a football game, you're going to get a high level of competition, and it's just a 2-point game heading into the fourth and final quarter.
You know, I'm smiling because we were talking earlier. We thought it was going to be 100 to 90, and it really, as we come back inside the booth here, it really has been competitive on the defensive end too.
Yeah.
I mean, the backs are playing really nice defense, tight coverage, and a number of pass breakups. So it's a game.
Yeah, we've seen numerous interceptions. Just saw Reed Brown's second. It's not an easy position to play defensive back, but, you know, in this 7-on-7 environment with no pass rush, Austin, they've been able to make some big plays.
And certainly, you know, the game's obviously going to get a little more predictable. Obviously, you really can't do much 7-on-7. You can only pass the ball. And obviously for New Canaan, you know the guys who are going to make those plays, Sweeney, and you've seen a little bit of Ryan Corbett lately. So, you know, hey, defensive guys, they're going to adjust. And not surprised that first half we saw a lot of points, and now in the third quarter didn't see many. Still New Canaan up by 2.
So let's see how this game will finish out. 15 minutes left. Rolling clock. Darien with the ball at the 39-yard line. And let the fourth quarter begin. Drake looking and overthrowing. Looking for the foul. He won't get it. Overthrowing Amir Preston, the senior, who made a couple big plays early, but has been quiet ever since.
Drake and Amir Preston are stalwarts in the Darien basketball program. Teammates, so they know each other well, have a certain amount of chemistry there.
So a big 3rd and 5 here. Drake will find Preston. Speak of a devil, Damian. He gets the first down inside the 25-yard line on that quick out. And there he is. Officially down to the 27, so a pickup of 8 for Preston. Darien, the Blue Wave, moving the chains. Drake lofting it to the end zone. An awesome adjustment, but still incomplete. Did not get either foot in bounds. Matthew Cavoli, number 4, with that. Or excuse me, Matthew Minikis. I got a Matthew in there. I got half of it right.
That's actually a fantastic job getting up to that ball. Great elusiveness and awareness to grab that ball, which was near the sideline.
Drake rolling right, looking for Preston, but instead he gets his teammate who jumped in there to make the catch. It's Blatney, who will be stopped just short of a goal line. I thought that might have been a too many cooks in the kitchen situation with Preston and Blatney right next to each other, Austin, but it worked all the way down to the 1.
I thought the same exact thing. I certainly thought Preston would get that ball. He was already in the end zone, but hey, they're going to first and goal now from the 1.
So a 26-yard hookup from Drake to Ryan Blatney. And just like that, they're on the goal line. Looking back of the end zone, and a catch is made. Touchdown, Blue Wave. Matthew Minikis with number 2 on the game for him.
The presence of mind to keep feet in bounds, make that catch in the corner of the end zone. He only needed 1 foot. He got them both. And that was a terrific, terrific play. Nice pass catch there from Drake to Minikis. By the way, that last interception by Darien was Charles Rooney. He was one of the number of numberless players on the field this afternoon.
Drake knocks home, Hayden Hall knocks home the extra point, which is good for 2 points. So Darien will take its first lead since that opening touchdown. And they are up 29-23 over the New Canaan Rams in this 7-on-7 game with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So again, that was Rooney who had that latest interception.
Going back to that touchdown, it was a terrific pass from Drake into the corner. Cornerback had his, don't know who it is, but had his back turn. That's a terrific throw, making sure to get it over that shoulder, and a great catch. And Darien, deservedly so, gets the lead back. Have done well keeping New Canaan off the board after they got off to a hot start, getting those key points off turnovers, which New Canaan actually was the one who capitalized on them in the Turkey Bowl last year.
Darien is up 29-23 as New Canaan will take over after this Hunter Hall kickoff. Bounces and fielded by Hayden Shin. Just over 11 minutes left in this one, and hopefully it will come down to the wire. New Canaan, I guess you could say, if you count this as a Turkey Bowl, but regardless, New Canaan has won 3 straight games against the Blue Wave after Darien won 4 straight. So really it's been back and forth over these last 2 years. And we will have the answer to this one in 11 minutes. New Canaan will start from the 33. Maddox Underwood in motion. Brown, quick strike, and guess who it is? Christian Sweeney, who picks up a few.
New Canaan still continuing to go the slower offense, not the big plays that you maybe would expect with Brown, who we've seen can throw the ball, definitely has an arm and can go deep, but you mentioned not the quickest guys out there, some bigger guys. Sweeney obviously plays more like a tight end in the slot.
So 2nd and 6 with the trips left formation here for New Canaan. Brown bouncing around, looking for, but incomplete to Hayden Shin out of the backfield.
You can tell the New Canaan there was looking to go deep. Brown a couple pump fakes, stayed on his feet, but just threw one down.
Yeah, nowhere to go, and just chucking it incomplete to avoid any turnover. So a big 3rd and 6 here from the 37-yard line. Brown going for it all down the left sideline. Griffin Koch can't get there. Overthrown from Brown with Cavoli in coverage. So here could be the play of the game in a sense. 4th and 6 from the 37-yard line. They need to work it up to the 43-yard line for a first down. But instead they're going to punt. They do have the option to do so, and they will bring out All-State punter Nick Radman. What do we think about that, guys?
Well, I think he was great in the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah, well,
I know I brought that up earlier,
yep.
But I don't think you can go wrong. Sometimes your punter can be a huge asset. Not a great punt there by any stretch, but Darien will take over in pretty good field position.
Yeah, that definitely backfired a little bit for New Canaan. They didn't want to give Darien the ball.
I jinxed him.
Yeah, you did, Damian.
Yeah,
he honestly did.
He punted very well in that Turkey Bowl.
Yeah, there's a reason why he was All-State.
I certainly don't mind the call, though, to punt, actually. New Canaan has been slowed down a little bit on this offense, getting a little predictable, going to Sweeney very often, especially given even though the running clock, Darien plays such a fast offense, they expect to get the ball back.
There's head coach Mike Forget and his crew. Mike Forget looking to get his first win as the Darien High School head coach. Lou Marinelli's racked up plenty of them here at New Canaan. This would be win 360 on the career and win 341 at New Canaan alone.
And probably the craziest one, to be completely honest.
Yes. They're going to run a play action in 7-on-7, even though you can't run it. And I think they really fooled him there. And it's incomplete.
I believe that's Chris Connett who got a hand in there.
The star safety. Coming down to make that play, Austin. Yep. Breaking that one up. Had an interception and was one of the team leaders in tackles during his sophomore year as a starting safety in 2018. 2nd and 10 from the right hash. Looking for it all. Finally finding Preston, overthrown and nearly intercepted. Would have been a huge play for New Canaan, and guess who it is again? Chris Connett, who almost made that one.
Funny to look. Right now there are 8 guys on the field for New Canaan. Shout out to our guy, Tony, who runs everything with the technical side. Just as I said, there are 8 guys out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Tony,
6, 7, 8.
I don't know why you're not wearing the black and white.
Maybe give them the blue because they only got 7. I mean,
oh gosh,
that would have been an interesting interception with 8 guys on the field.
Really getting tricky here, trying to get the lead. Big 3rd and 10 from the 40. Over the middle of the field, Minikis makes the catch in tight coverage inside of a 30-yard line.
Great throw by Connor Palin.
Yeah, he's back in the game.
He is back in the game, and he has looked good.
It was Minikis making another.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes the quarterback's job a little bit easier when you've got talented wideouts, doesn't it?
To say the least.
And Palin is a traditional quarterback in the sense that he stands tall back there and just spins it.
Palin's going to check it down, pick up of a few. Cal McNear as senior captain.
And he zipped that to the far side of the field. He had a little bit on that.
Looked like that was Connecticut again. Nice job there to get over as Darien was looking for a quick pass and potentially a big play, but actually a loss of 1 there. So fantastic job from Connecticut.
Yes. I guess you could say it's a tackle for loss. A touch for loss? I don't know.
TFL is still the same.
Still the
Touch,
same
tackle,
acronym.
still the same stat.
5 minutes left. Quick strike to Preston is dropped. And he hits himself in the head for that one.
That was a classic case of thinking what you're going to do before you actually make the catch.
Yes. That's a big drop. Would have made it probably a much more manageable 3rd and short. Instead, it's 3rd and 11. They need to work it up to the 19. Excuse me, they need to work it up to the 17 for a first. Palin over the middle. Open. Minikis spinning and getting it near the 10. Excuse me, that is not Minikis. That is number 15, Doug Brown, the senior, making his first big play of the afternoon, and it is a big one.
Good play call. I actually wasn't going to be surprised if they went for it on 4th down, given how low some of those kicks have been.
Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised if they went for it, but they don't need to. Good slant pass over the middle. Low risk.
I don't even know if you can kick an extra point in this. I mean, a field goal in the 7-on-7 format, so they needed that conversion. 1st and goal from the 10. New Canaan looking to make a critical stand. Palin looking high. Caught. Touchdown, Darien. Oh, wow. I'm speechless.
Wow.
Make it the hat trick for Matthew Minikis. 3rd touchdown on the game.
His best one for sure. That was a great ball. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but a great job by Minikis to get up and then dive towards the end zone. I think everyone in New Canaan just on the defensive side for the Rams just stopped because they were so surprised. I didn't expect that one to be complete.
Me neither. That's why I couldn't speak.
That's right. As Coach Albano was a little irritated at that. But Darien now.
Hall's PAT is good. It's going to count for 2. And just like that.
2-possession game.
A 2-possession game. You're exactly right. Darien will take the 14-point lead with just over 3 minutes left in this 4th quarter.
That was a big touchdown there, and Minikis had the presence of mind to reach across the goal line as he's curling back towards the center of the field after the catch.
That's essentially the icing on the cake there with a running clock, and given how slow this New Canaan offense moves, they've done well moving down the field, but just hasn't been 1 or 2 plays, unlike Darien, especially even if they do score, Darien will just eat the clock. So turkey leg, whatever you want to call it, looks like might be won by the wave.
Well, we won't see any turkey legs here. Got a social distance. So it's crazy to think that Minikis is only a junior with a 3-touchdown game against a New Canaan secondary that has a lot of returning talent. Bates Grigsby, Harry Apelt, Chris Kinnett, Nolan Larkin coming from Pennsylvania. A lot of proven guys on that back end, but Minikis has just made his presence known with 3 scores. So a 14-point Blue Wave lead in this 7-on-7 game, the first of its kind here in the state of Connecticut in the time of COVID-19. And Darien, head coach Mike Forget and crew with a 14-point lead, just under 2 minutes left to play.
We mentioned Minikis. There's Colin, the oldest brother, then Brian and Michael, and now Matthew. And Matthew, people say, might even be the most talented of the 4. So we'll see. He's certainly shown his athleticism this afternoon.
He's looked as good as advertised. As Brown checks it down to Christian Carson, as time continues to wane here. 1:20 left. Quick pass picks up 5. Brown looks for Sweeney again on that quick hitch. Incomplete. Coverage got there. Sets up 3rd and 5 from the 35 with just over a minute remaining.
Oliver Bolton there in coverage had a nice game. He's listed here as a quarterback, but, just like plenty of the guys on both these sides, can play both sides of the ball. As time is running out, under a minute to go in this one.
They're going to go empty set here on 3rd and 5. Brown going for it all. Will he get Christian Sweeney? He won't. A bit of an overthrow. New Canaan might get one last playoff here if they choose to run one with just over half a minute remaining in this game on 4th and 5. But Darien has all but sealed the victory as Brown looks towards the sideline for probably one last play. New Canaan shut out in this half. Unbelievable. After the start that they had offensively. Koch makes the sideline grab. He gets out of bounds, but rolling clock, so it won't count for anything. Does move the chains. That is the end of your ball game. As our great PA man, Bill Brown, just said to me, New Canaan shut out in the second half. They were up 23-21 at the half. Darien goes on to outscore them 16-0 in the second. And what changed?
You know, Darien just was able to move the football, and the receivers ran routes, got open, and whether it was Palin or Miles Drake, they put the ball right on the money. And defensively, they played tight. I mean, both teams played tight defensively. We actually, the three of us, thought we'd see more points.
Certainly.
We did. I mean, we were expecting a big 100-point game. We joked about that. Instead, we have a combined 60 points between both teams.
That's still a lot of points, right?
That's still a lot of points.
Still the over.
But not what we expected. No betting in high school, so let's not get in trouble here. So Darien will move to 1-0 in this 7-on-7 football week here in the state of Connecticut. New Canaan will drop to 0-1. Final score, 37-23. Matthew Menikis, the star of this game for Darien. Not one, not two, but 3 receiving touchdowns. And Christian Sweeney with a big game of his own. The best New Canaan receiver out here today. And guys, what are your final takeaways from this 7-on-7 format and what we could see in the future from both of these teams?
Well, it's great to see, obviously, just see football played again. That's number one, obviously, checking that box, giving, the seniors something to think about, and obviously there's still much up in the air with the spring and the private league that we've alluded to. But, New Canaan, still the same team, we know and we've watched over the years. Reed Brown, really nice job, actually. The second half, I think simply Darien knew what was coming. And, there wasn't, any trash can bang or anything like that. But it was very obvious that New Canaan was going to Christian Sweeney. And simply, great job from Darien defensively under new head coach who gets his first win. And it's great to see both these teams back out there, two of the best, and still very competitive even though they really couldn't tackle each other.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of what you just said at the end there. Very competitive. I mean, listen, it's New Canaan Darien or Darien New Canaan, however you want to say it. And the competitive juices flow when these teams get together. I'm sure these guys would like to be playing 11-on-11 football out there this afternoon, but that's not the case. I thought it was a real fun atmosphere. I mean, Austin and I were looking at each other. I said fun and interesting, and Austin said maybe interesting then fun, and I certainly think that was the case. I mean, it's 7-on-7. These guys, it's not like it's something new. These guys play.
They have a tournament.
They have a tournament here at Dunning. They play 7-on-7 during the summer to get their chemistry, quarterbacks with their receivers, get their chemistry down.
Totally.
And so it's something that we've seen over the last 10 years in high school football across the country. We've never seen it as an actual season, if you will,
high school sport.
As a high school sport. But it was a lot of fun, and if you like seeing teams throw the ball around the ball yard, well, this is for you.
Definitely. So, especially if you're a Darien fan, this game was for you. The final score, 37-23. Darien now 1-0. New Canaan now 0-1. Who knows what the future of football holds in this state? Will we see more 7-on-7? There's been talk of a private league here in Fairfield County, but regardless, this is the format, this is the game, and Darien ends up winning. We'll see you soon. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at NCTV78. And, hey, you're watching this on YouTube. We'd love you if you liked and subscribed. We'd really appreciate the support. Austin Platt, Damian Andrew, Ian Nicholas. I want to thank the rest of our crew, from our advisor, Roman Sobolski, Emily Fox, our producer, Ben Bowe, and Amelie Lanoff on camera. Thank you all so much, and thank you all for watching. I'm Ian Nicholas, and we'll see you next time.